how I left my newborn baby just to chase our neighbour. Now I've lost everything. My name is Amaka, and this is my story. Obinna was a calm gentleman. He didn't smoke, he didn't drink. He lived in Lagos and worked as a car electrician in Oshodi. Life was not perfect, but he was content. But there was something missing. A woman, a good woman, not like the Lagos girls who only cared about iPhones and shawarma. So that December, Obinna travelled to his village, Isiama, with one goal: to find a wife. That's where he saw her, Amaka. She was standing by the stream, holding a calabash on her head, with her wrapper tied tight around her waist. Her skin was dark and smooth, like palm oil, her eyes shy. Her laugh soft, like rain on zinc. Obinna's heart left his chest that day. He didn't waste time. Within weeks he met her parents, paid the bride price, and by January, Amaka had followed him to Lagos. Eplans, at first, life was sweet. Obinna loved her with everything. He bought her new clothes, a smartphone, and perfume from Balogun Market. He even painted the one-bedroom apartment just to please her. Soon, Amaka got pregnant. They were both happy. Obinna worked extra hard fixing cars all day, saving money for their baby's future. And when their baby girl came, Obinna cried tears of joy. But something changed in Amaka. Eplans, she started dressing differently, wearing tighter clothes, putting makeup just to buy pure water, always on her phone, smiling at something or someone. Then there was Mr. Collins, the neighbour upstairs. A big man, drives a red Range Rover, wears gold chain, smells like money. Every weekend, young girls in tight jeans visited him. Amaka began greeting him more. Then longer conversations. Then whispers at the gate. Eplans, Obinna didn't notice at first. He was always working. But soon he started hearing things. Neighbours said they saw Amaka going out at night after he left for night shifts. She would dress like she was going for a party, but she never went far. She went upstairs to Mr. Collins' flat. Sometimes she would leave their newborn baby crying, hungry, her diapers soaked just to go and be with him. Eplans, one night, Obinna came back early from work. He opened the door. The room was dark. The baby was on the floor, crying. Milk bottle rolling on the ground. Amaka? Nowhere. He waited. Midnight passed. 1 a.m., 2 a.m. Then he heard it footsteps. Soft, careful step. Amaka came in, smelling of strong perfume, her lipstick smudged. She looked shocked to see him. Obinna didn't shout. He didn't talk. He just carried his baby and sat on the bed, silent, heartbroken, like a cracked mirror. Amaka opened her mouth to speak, but no words came out. Amaka stood at the door, breath shaky, wrapper half-tied, sweat shining on her neck like guilt. Obinna sat on the bed, baby in his arms. The room was quiet, too quiet. "Where are you coming from?" Obinna asked, his voice low, tired, broken. Amaka swallowed hard, then smiled, like it was nothing. I went to buy baby diapers. They didn't have at the shop near the junction. I had to check another place. "At 2 a.m.?" he asked, still not shouting. She nodded, eyes blinking fast. "I didn't want to wake you." Obinna looked at her, long and deep. He saw through her, but he said nothing, just nodded, laid the baby down, and slept with one eye open. And each of the next few days were strange. Amaka acted sweeter. She cooked his favorite supofe onukbu. She rubbed his feet at night, kissed him more, laughed harder than usual. But it was fake. Obinna knew, because sometimes she'd stare into space and smile like someone replaying a sweet memory. Worse, she always locked her phone now. One morning, Obinna pretended to forget his key and came back after leaving for work. Amaka was inside, dancing in front of the mirror, wearing a red lace pant and whispering, "You like it? You can touch it if you want." There was no one else in the room, except the voice note on her phone, a voice that sounded exactly like Mr. Collins. Obinna left quietly, his heart beating loud, his stomach heavy, and the following Friday he made a plan. He told Amaka he was travelling to Ibadan for work 2 nights. But he didn't go anywhere. He waited, watched her eyes light up when he left, watched from behind a wall when she went upstairs wearing a short black dress, hips moving like temptation. Obinna waited till 1 a.m., then quietly walked upstairs, his heart pounding, his hands shaking. He reached Mr. Collins's door. It was slightly open. He pushed it, and what he saw broke him into a million pieces. Amaka was on the bed, naked, smiling. Underneath her, Mr. Collins, holding her waist, whispering, "Your husband can never give you this kind of wood." Amaka laughed. "I don't even feel guilty anymore. He's too soft, too poor." They didn't even hear the door open. But when they finally looked up, Obinna was standing there, eyes red, fists clenched, tears falling, not from weakness but from betrayal. Amaka froze. Mr. Collins chuckled, not even bothered. "Oga, you day enter house without knocking?" Obinna didn't move, just stared at the woman he gave everything, the woman he carried from the stream to the city, the woman who left her baby just to chase a bigger wood. And then slowly he turned around and walked away without saying a word. That night, Obinna walked down the stairs with his heart shattered but his mind clear. He didn't argue. He didn't fight. He didn't cry loud. He just packed a small bag, carried his daughter on his back, and left the house forever. By 4 a.m., he was knocking on the door of his closest friend, Ikenna, who lived in Yaba. "Guy, I no get strength to explain anything. I just need peace." Ikenna didn't ask questions. He brought out pap for the baby and gave Obinna a room. For the first time in weeks, Obinna slept with peace in his chest. "Jewel, Meanwhile, Amaka didn't even check on her baby. She woke up the next morning, still lying in Mr. Collins' arms, smiling and stretching like a queen. But when she went downstairs, the room was empty. No baby, no husband, no note, nothing. "Obinna," she called out. Silence. She checked her phone. No missed call, no message. Her stomach turned. She tried to laugh it off and went back upstairs, but something in Mr. Collins had changed. He wasn't calling her sweetheart anymore. He wasn't even smiling. In fact, that night he told her, "Don't think I'm looking for wife. You were just available." Days turned into weeks. Obinna stayed at Ikenna's place. He focused on work, took care of his daughter, and slowly healed. Then one Saturday, at a friend's naming ceremony, he met Chioma. Chioma was soft-spoken, kind, and beautiful in a calm, respectful way. She was a nurse, loved children, and when she saw Obinna carrying his baby alone, she said, "Any woman that leaves this kind of child doesn't deserve you." Obinna smiled for the first time in a long while. Too, back at Collins' place, things were falling apart. Collins had moved on. He started bringing new girls home younger, slimmer, finer. Amaka begged, cooked, wore her shortest skirts. But Collins was done. "See, babe, I don't do clingy. You can pack your load and go. I don't want trouble." She stood in the rain that night, crying with her Ghana must-go bag. No man, no house, no baby, nothing. She called Obinna over 20 times. He never picked. True. So she went back to the village. Her mother opened the door and screamed, "Amaka, you're back!" But her eyes scanned behind her. No husband, no baby, just shame. Amaka started living in regret. The villagers whispered, "She left her husband for city man and still came back with nothing." She cried every night, holding a photo of her baby. But it was too late. 2 months later, Obinna stood at the altar, his daughter in a white dress beside him. Chioma, glowing like morning sunshine, walked toward him in a simple white gown. As the pastor said, "You may kiss the bride." Obinna's eyes filled with tears, but this time they were tears of joy. Chioma kissed him. The baby clapped. And in that moment, everything that was broken was whole again. Somewhere in the village, Amaka sat under a mango tree, watching a couple pass with their baby, laughing. She held her chest and whispered, "Obinna, I'm sorry," but it was too late. Moral lesson. Loyalty and contentment are the foundation of lasting love. When you choose lust and material things over love, you risk losing everything that truly matters. Amaka had a faithful husband, a peaceful home, and a child that needed her. But her greed, lack of appreciation, and obsession with pleasure made her lose it all. Obinna, on the other hand, showed that walking away from pain, staying calm in betrayal, and keeping a good heart can still lead to happiness. True joy comes not from chasing temporary pleasure, but from choosing peace, faithfulness, and the right people. It also reminds us that temptation always comes, but your choices determine your future. Good people who are hurt still deserve love again. And those who break hearts for fun may one day watch others find joy without them. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. More powerful stories coming your way on Ouzo Stories.